With the shutdown of the federal government only hours away, hundreds of recipients of Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals gathered in the Russell Senate Building Rotunda to make sure their voices were heard.
Thanks to President Obama, I got my DACA in 2012, and since then I've been contributing to America's society by paying taxes, working in the real estate industry for about 3 years now.
We're put in a very uncomfortable position, because the Republicans control both the House and the Senate, and Trump is Republican. They have control, and they're just putting us against other. They're putting the immigrant youth and comparing it to Chip, and they're trying to make us look bad. But we were not the ones that got into this situation. It was the Republicans that got us here. What
would be your message to lawmakers thinking, well, we got till early March, why do we have to do it today?
Sure. Every day, I'm not sure about the number. I think there is 122 DACA recipients losing their DACA.
Lives are at stake, and I think that beyond the politics, we need to think about the lives that are at stake. Over 16,000 people have already lost it. We have even people who have been protected by DACA that were already deported. Juan Manuel, for example, who was already deported to Mexico. And so for us, that's why the urgency is now. And beyond deportation, this means young people like Juan Carlos, who has cerebral palsy, and he doesn't have access to the health services that he needs because his DACA expired.
Back in high school, I did not have DACA or some kind of status, so I felt very out of place. I couldn't get any financial aid to pursue a higher education, so I basically gave up going to college and decided to work 3-4 jobs that paid me until I got DACA. And since I got DACA, I was able to get driver's license, tax ID to pay taxes, and get a car to drive around to work, which helped tremendously, especially for my family, since they don't speak English, they don't speak much of an English, and it's just getting DACA was a turning point in my life.
I became a DACA recipient when I applied for the program back in 2012 when Barack Obama introduced the program. At that point, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, or if I should continue pursuing higher education, because I knew I didn't have an opportunity. But with DACA, it encouraged me to pursue higher education, and I was able to accomplish, 4 years now.
I lived in Mexico until I was 13 years old. So for things that happened in Mexico, I couldn't be there anymore because my life was like, it could happen something to my life.
The DREAM Act was introduced in 2001. So it's about time that we get a DREAM Act. It's, the right time, and we're just hoping for the best.
We're not trying to take anything away from anybody else. We just want to be with families, our friends, and our dreams and hopes. And the immigration law may be broken, but that doesn't mean the family has to be broken.
I think a lot of people who are older than you probably grew up thinking that the United States is a white country that makes certain allowances for non-white people, but only if they quote-unquote do it the right way. Uh-oh, looks like a show is starting. Many of the people I've met here today are minors. I've never seen this kind of ratio of... There's only one Capitol Police officer here. Oh no, I'm sorry, there's like 4. I see 4. Maybe the reason why there's such a small force of Capitol Police officers here is they know that these young people are probably not intending to risk arrest. Hey, how did it go?
I think it went well. We got our points across, and we got our voices loud and clear, and I hope the senators has a clear conscience for them to vote no on CR if that doesn't attach Clean Dream Act.
Do you mind going over just some of what we already talked about, just because we're now live on Facebook?
So I came when I was 10 years old, and I am 25 years old now, and I've been living in Los Angeles for 15 years. And it was just me and my mom at first. And then thanks to family sponsorship, my father was able to come from South Korea to move with us after not seeing him for about 4 to 5 years and once in a while, which kind of robbed my childhood away and resented him for just a little bit. But
You resented your dad?
just a little bit. Back then I didn't know any better. I was a brat, and I hated my father for not being with us. But what I didn't know was that being an immigrant is hard, and getting a legal status in the United States is not easy as 1, 2, 3.
You know, a lot of conservatives are especially upset about the idea of immigrants bringing their families here. They have other criteria that they would like to be seen used. And what would be your response to that?
I mean, family values, I don't know what kind of family value is, but family value is definitely not tearing your mothers away, fathers away, your brothers, sisters away. And this, family reunification is very important to all of us as a human being. It's not about business or profit or money. It's about being with the person you love the most, and that's family, and no one else can be there for you other than your family.
Earlier I spoke to some Mexican-born recipients of DACA, and I was actually kind of surprised as the Capitol Police are now here and totally out. No, we don't have to move away. They're not going to hurt us. The Capitol Police are here in much larger numbers, and the protesters have all left us. But I was really struck that so many of the young people of Mexican heritage understood full well that the way American politics works is they try to generate white racial anxiety as basically a political weapon. Korean Americans really aren't necessarily the target. I've seen Trump supporters on TV saying he doesn't want Africans and Latinos, but he can't be racist because he likes Asian people.
That is absolutely bogus, in my opinion. If you're going against one race, you can't do that. This is, like I said, this is America. This is about the melting pot. It's about coming together from different countries and contribute to make this country great. We can't just pick one race to and then just put them together and pin them against each other. That is what exactly is happening right now. Mexicans or Latinos, from even the black people from all over the place. It's just not right.
So if white conservatives offer a special pedestal to Asian Americans as the good immigrants, you're not going to accept that?
We as a people have to come together. It's just, I can't accept that. I will not accept that. My friends are doctors, lawyers, teachers. We are great people. All of us dreamers, brothers and sisters are superstars.
Okay, one more personal question. When would you lose your protected status if nothing is done?
If clean DACA isn't attached and nothing gets reserved, or if this problem doesn't get fixed, my last day will be December 2018, so end of this year.
And then what will you do?
I have no idea, honestly. But what I know that this year that I will fight for a clean DACA to be